Welcome to Shorts Beyond Measure, where fashion, interiors, and psychology get the stylish, savvy, and slightly therapeutic touch.
We're Tara West, Caroline Baltz, and Allison Goldberg, a fashion stylist and 2 interior designers who are also trained as psychotherapists.
So let's get into what's trending, what's tired, and what's actually worth your time. Because good style and good decisions should never be short-lived.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Hi. I can't hear you, Allison.
Dave doesn't like hearing me, so he purposely turns off my mic.
He probably needs a little silencer on that.
Yeah, it's too early for Dave to listen to me, bitch.
So today we're talking about the Michelangelo effect, and actually it has to do with chiseling away, right?
Yeah.
And so funny enough,
that was really, really awkward. How awkward was that?
well, because I was going to get into the fact that I feel like I need a boob job.
Oh my God. Wow.
And I was like, wow, this is like so apropos of where I'm at in my life. Because I've had one. I've had a reduction lift because I was a size G and I'm not a very big person. And so after Hudson,
Let
I
me
was
touch these babies.
And one time Penelope walked up with my old bra and it looked like a spacesuit on her head. It was so large. But anyways, now
they look great.
Dave's pulling up a size G on.
he's like G. So
Dave has those saved, so that's not an issue.
Dave loves that I'm bringing this up. But for real, okay, because a lot of my friends have turned 50. A lot of them are getting boob jobs and a lot of other things because our body immediately changes. Sorry. I know, Caroline. And so and it's been about 11 years. So I'm thinking about getting a reduction again and a lift. I don't want silicone, but I want better boobs.
Okay, but it's been 11 years since you had your lift reduction surgery.
Right.
So now you need to chisel it away a little bit.
I think I need to chisel the schnizzle.
Like, you just got more boobs. How does that work?
Well, because I was a G and I went down to a B, and I said to him, I really think I should be a C. And he said, no, because when you go into menopause, you're going to go back up. And so now I'm a D again.
Oh my God, so I want menopause is what you're saying. Like, put me into early menopause.
Sounds good to me. Boobs for the first time in my life.
Right?
And for those of you, I mean, it was such a gift to have small boobs because buying a bathing suit back in the day was so hard. It was like I'd have to buy a top and then hoist my boobs up, and I'd always have to wear 2 sports bras. G's a very big size.
That's big.
You know what I mean? So I almost had to get bras made for me.
Wow. But it's the opposite issue. Like, if you have a really small chest, then you have like the gapping in the bathing suit, and you gotta like shove some stuffing in there to make your boobs like fill it out so you're not like flashing the world.
Yeah, so it's an opposite thing. But I think I'm here and I made a decision that I'm gonna go have a consultation because I believe, and I don't know how you guys feel, but if something's really bothering you, I say fix it. Do whatever it takes to make you feel good, and so that's kind of where I'm at.
But
that's my exit cue.
She's off. No, but I actually think that's absolutely accurate if it's authentic to you. Right? Like if you're doing something like, oh, I need a nose job because, my friends are doing it, or this isn't perfect, or like you're seeking perfection in this way that's also wanting external validation, that's totally different than like, this is something I want to do for me.
I agree. When you have a short torso and your boobs start going towards your belly button, there's very limited space, and that's what I'm experiencing.
Okay, let's get the waist back. That's what we're chiseling back away.
Right.
Okay, got it.
So on that note,
okay,
Caroline,
let me go a little bit deeper into this Michelangelo phenomena. So basically, as you were saying, Michelangelo, the sculptor, Renaissance man, whatever, but one of his trades was to be a sculptor. So he would take a piece of marble and start chipping away at it to create David or whatever he was, sculpting at the time. So that's what we do too in our work upon occasion. And I think it applies to lots of different, metaphors for life. But one of the clients I was thinking about that it applies to is we had this woman who had kids that were kind of up and out, empty nester, if you will, whatever you want to call it. But she had bought her house in maybe like early 90s and painted it that really light yellow color that's not the cool yellow color, but the like 90s yellow. And we were like, you need to just de-yellow this house. Like it was in every yellow pillows, yellow this, Laura Ashley that. Like we were like, oh my God.
Why don't I remember this at all? Did I just block her out?
I can't believe you can't remember because yellow is like such a particular color.
Where? What town was this in?
It was that really old house in Weston.
Oh my God, I am totally blinking. Guess I didn't like the house.
And so when you told her, obviously she's hiring you for a reason. Was she open to your suggestion?
Yeah, she laughed. We had fun with her. We're like, we have to de-yellow your house.
Right.
We were like, this just has to go. And it definitely, like, just even with that kind of in mind of taking away,
Chiseling away.
Yeah, elevated her space.
So that brings me to another question is, like, it's so interesting the colors that people are drawn to, right? Because yellow wouldn't be the first thing I'd be drawn to. Are you sometimes just, it must be interesting, I guess, to just know what people like, what color. I know you try to guide them, but when you walk in and you first see something like that, you must think, wow, why yellow?
Well, I mean, that's what was in the 90s, right? So it's
a lot of yellow.
Took 30 years to update it. I don't know.
Well, and you're in the moment, like grays. I mean, God, we were in gray period for the longest time, right?
Yeah, and we just had a client that called, and she's a new client, and she's like, I just want grays and blues, and like, we're happy to give her what she wants, but we're definitely going to try and get her out of that gray mindset because that's not going to last now, right? Like we were in the gray period for 15, 20 years, and now we're going towards the warm neutrals and the creamier tones.
It's interesting. I spoke at something at the Boston Design Center last week, and Caroline came, and they were interior designer up there too, and me, and we talked about like not going on too much of a trend because you want things to last. It's like clothing. Somebody had asked me, how do you should you buy what's trending? And my thought on trends is, if there's a trend that you really like, then don't break the bank on it. Try something a little less expensive. And then if you really enjoy it and it looks good, then maybe go for something more expensive. And not every trend looks good on everybody. And so you really have to, pick and choose what works for you.
Totally.
So I have a question because I'm not fully understanding the Michelangelo effect. What is that idea that you go into someone's home and then just remove certain things?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm very good at that.
You got it.
So
Take it all out.
And it would also be like removing people's items from their closet, like a feng shui. I guess,
Like I think about it, like dump everything out of the closet and then like put back really the pieces that, like, as they say, spark joy or whatever. Or take somebody's room, move every piece of furniture, every little nook, every little knickknack, whatever, out of the room, and then say, let's orient the bed over here. You can look out the window now. Like, oh my God, and it just changes.
So
things.
maybe I should take all my boobs out.
Can I have them?
And put all new ones in.
Put them on me.
Dave liked that. Sounds like a good plan. I wonder how much that cost.
Actually, Dave, what's your opinion on Tara's breasts?
Perfect. No. By the way, I don't know if all men feel this way. Fake boobs, never.
Yeah.
Now, what you're describing is not fit. You said no silicone,
right?
So I think I'm okay with the plan if you want me to sign off on it. But fake boobs are so obvious in most cases and not attractive.
Sounds like you've been with some women with some cheap boob jobs, Dave.
I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess. But they definitely feel different. They look too perky. They
fake.
They literally look fake.
Yeah.
And they are fake. So.
Aesthetically, I can understand that for sure.
Billy can look at a picture and be like, boob job, not boob job. I mean, like, just like that. Like I'm like, wow.
Growing up in Beverly Hills, the joke would be, my brothers and I would be at dinner and be like, how many boob jobs do you think we're going to see today?
All of them will be good.
There were a lot of fake boobies. But anyways, getting back to some real...
The Michelangelo effect? Yeah. I mean, I think it can be used in lots of different ways. And I think what helps us is that we name our projects at the beginning of a project. So it'll be like Modern Heritage or Farmhouse Elegant. And that helps us align everything that we're doing. Like every piece that we chisel away, every piece that we bring in aligns back up to whatever that phrase is. And we stole it from our private practice, like a diagnosis, right? Like that's what you as a therapist need to do. If it's, body dysmorphia, or if it's bulimia or whatever the diagnosis is, everything you do in your treatment plan aligns back up to that diagnosis.
Right.
So how do you do that in someone's closet or when you're working with a client in fashion?
Well, I think, if we're going for like a long-term relationship, not just an event, I typically go into I ask to come to see their closet first, and then we clean it out. I suggest maybe they do it a little bit before, because sometimes people have just way too much stuff. And then we kind of just, decipher like what you should keep, what you should get rid of, what you should donate. And then we think about the future. Like, what are your needs now? What are, your price points? And what do I think that they could use to put together outfits and kind of just grow their wardrobe? And again, it doesn't have to be all at once, because nobody wants to spend a gazillion dollars at once. So maybe it's bringing in a couple key pieces that you spend a little bit more on, and then, add some fun pieces that are less expensive.
Yeah, totally. And I told you that I was playing my inner Tara West with my friend. Oh my gosh, your job is so hard and I cannot do it. But I did try to help her a little bit, because she's now has this huge promotion. She was in New York with this whole company and had all these events, and I had helped her buy a couple different things, whatever. First off, we had to find her size, because she thought she was like 6 sizes bigger than she actually is. So that was number one. And number two was just color and, wearing it with confidence. But she texted me and it made me feel so good. She was like, I feel like I'm in role of executive now because of what I'm wearing. Thank you for giving me that gift, because it's like really made me feel confident in, who I am.
Well, it's like, if you dress the part, that you'll make it,
Fake it till you make
Fake it till you make it. It was during COVID, people would call me, should I get dressed for my Zoom interview? I said, yes, you have to be dressed for it. You have to act as if you're in the room with the person interviewing you. Otherwise, your mindset is going to be totally different. You're on your sofa in your living room, and that's like, you're not going to put your best foot forward if that's the approach you're taking.
So are there any items that you automatically put in everyone's closet? Like, I don't know, like a perfect white tee. Are you like, you just should have 2 of these in your closet, and you just say that to everyone?
I think pretty much it would be a blazer. Like, everybody should have a great blazer. Investment pieces, maybe a great button-down shirt if you like a white button-down.
Oh my gosh.
If you have big boobs, though, that's hard.
Oh yeah.
Although some brands now have that extra button inside of the button down to keep it secure, which is brilliant.
Ooh,
but
smart.
yeah, and I think probably 2 to 3 pairs of jeans. You
17.
don't believe it,
Yeah.
but really just ones that work, and also a great pair of pants, not that are not jeans, that you can wear, out to dinner or to a meeting. Staples.
I like that idea, but I'm still on the hunt for a perfect white tee. So can you help me out?
Yes, I will send some your way.
Thank you.
I have one more question. How many clients do you have at a time?
That's a really hard question
I
to
know.
answer, because sometimes when you start with a client, it just rolls into the next room. It's almost like it never ends. Like, even right now, we're working with a client from 5 years ago that's now having us do her guest suite in the Cape, right? So we started at her Weston home, and so clients kind of never go away. They're always there. So
I like that answer. People ask me that a lot, and it's very similar. It's like I work with people seasonal, sometimes all year round, sometimes for an event. It just varies. Sometimes they won't call me for 2 years, and then we're back at it. So, but I was just curious.
yeah, I mean, we try to keep it on the lower side, so because it's just the 2 of us, so we're really doing every little last thing. But we also don't want to say no to people that if we think it's going to be a great project. So we might start, just in a family room, and then let them know that we'll be able to tackle the next phase in 4 months.
And I would say one of the things that we also have ripped off from our private practices is at that initial meeting, we say all of the hard stuff. Like, this is our timeline. We may not be actually starting the work until September. We can hear your objectives and start thinking about it, but this is our timeline. And would that work for you? And, we also, it's just the 2 of us. So we don't have this big, huge back office. So, we might be slower than this huge firm that you could hire to do this. Or, we kind of try to say.
I actually think we might be quicker. Like, I know when you have the infrastructure, you know, you have 10 different people going and sourcing things or whatever. But because our heart is in it, I feel like, you know, there's times at 11 o'clock at night that I'm still up, like searching for things because I'm like, I can't go to bed until I find the perfect fabric for their dining chairs. Like, and it will keep me up. I think we just have like a different investment in it because we're a small firm.
I agree. I mean, I'm similar. Like last night I was up looking for a shoe for a client. You know, it's like, it's not done till it's complete.
Yes.
Until the product, for me too. Like when the outfit's complete, then we can rest. But I think what you're saying is you guys are more hands-on. There's not a lot of people to go to in your business because it's the two of you, which makes it actually very nice, I think, for people to work with you that way.
Yeah, no, we know that the buck stops with us. And so that's a level of responsibility. It's accountability. We're not hiding behind, oh, well, you know, sorry, my intern didn't get to it or whatever, you know, where it's like, no, we own it.
So if you want to hire these incredible interior designers, you know where to reach them. Thanks,
We
ladies.
can't start till September, though.
Yeah. Get
All
in
right.
line.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
That's it for this week's Shortlist. Thanks for listening.
If you enjoyed today's conversation, share it, leave a review, or let us know what's on your short list.
Shorts beyond measure, because the most important things in life can't be quantified.